Hey YouTube, this is Trains and Destinations, and here I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of this laptop right here. I know I haven't done an unboxing video in a while, but I happened to found this laptop. It was at a good price. So let's go ahead and go over and see whether, it's a good fit for you. So let's get started. So this here specifically is an HP Pavilion 14. Now in terms of the price, I got this at my job. So I got a pretty decent discount on it, but in terms of like the retail price, these range anywhere from $500 to $600. If you can get this laptop for $500 on paper, it's a good deal, and you can tell that from the specs. So this particular one does have the Intel Core i5 1135 G7 processor. This does include the brand new Intel XZ graphics. So this does have the much improved integrated graphics. So again, has the 11th gen i5. This one has a 256 gigabyte SSD, 8 gigabytes of RAM, which luckily that 8 gigabytes consists of two 4 gig sticks. So the RAM is running a dual channel. That'll definitely help with graphics performance. Of course, Windows 10, B&O speakers, a 43 watt hour battery, which honestly isn't that great. It's kind of small. The only downside is the display. So this particular one has the base display. So it's a 14-inch 720p non-IPS screen. So we'll see how that is. On one hand, it not being 1080p sucks, but on the other hand though, this is a 14-inch laptop, so I feel like you can get away with that resolution at this price. And as long as the screen is relatively color accurate and stuff, then I'm honestly not going to have an issue with it. So again, the reason why this laptop is pretty interesting is because, now for me, I won't say how much I paid for this, but it was under 500 bucks, and that's including an extended warranty that I got from my job. So I got this for a really good deal, and honestly, even for $500, you'll be hard pressed to find any laptop with these sort of specs. Again, a Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, a 256 gig SSD. A lot of laptops in the $500 range will have typically a Core i3 or an AMD Ryzen 3. So being able to find this system for $500 is a really good deal. I believe the only thing that's similar to this would probably be the Lenovo Flex 14. I believe that has a Ryzen 5, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 256 gig SSD. Could be around the same price, but depending on the price of that, either that or this will be a better deal. So anyway, let's go ahead and get on with the unboxing. Alright, so with the box now open, you can see the inside, in which this box feels a lot thinner. I feel like HP's in the past had thicker boxes than this. But anyway, let's start out with your power adapter. For those who are wondering, this specifically is the 2020 HP Pavilion, this one being the 14-inch. Now looking at your charger, this is no surprise. This legit is the same barrel plug charger that HP has been using for years now. This is a 45 watt hour charger. But yeah, this is the same plug that HP's been using literally for years and years and years. I mean, it's a fine charger. It would be nice if they were to upgrade to a new design, but yeah. So if you have an older HP laptop you're upgrading from, your old chargers will work perfectly fine, because again, this is the one they've been using for years now. Honestly, they've been probably using this for like the last 10 years, easily 5 to 10 years. And let's go ahead and pull out the laptop. I do apologize, it's a little hard to get out of here. And there we go. And once you take that out, there's nothing else in the box, so we can discard the box. And let's go ahead. You have this nice foam here, this cardboard material. It's not super thick, but I guess that's done to be more eco-friendly. So let's go ahead and take out our laptop here. And yeah, the only paperwork you get in here is your HP warranty. So this does come with a 1-year warranty, direct from HP. And yeah, that's all you get. So definitely, I remember in the past, HP laptops would come with like 500 booklets and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure on my channel I have an older HP laptop unboxing. If I do, watch that and you'll see the difference. But compared to that, this is much simpler of an unboxing experience. Obviously done to be more eco-friendly, and no one reads those booklets anyway. So, and anyway, here we are greeted by the laptop itself. So this is a 14-inch laptop. You can also get this in a 15-inch configuration with a wide range of processors and stuff. So overlooking it, it's pretty nice from first impressions. So the bottom is plastic, but The top is aluminum. Build quality looks pretty good. Nice tolerances. So on the back here, this is your intake for the processor, and then you have your speakers on either side. Full-length rubber feet on the top and bottom, which I really like. That's a really nice touch, because on some laptops where you only have the feet in every corner, that will cause the middle to sag. I've seen the middle of some of these laptops sag if rubber feet are only on the corners, but this has full-length rubber feet, so that will prevent it from happening. And of course, this means that on a table, this will remain very stable. And then obviously under here is the exhaust, and you got your Pavilion name right there. Now this one isn't as popular as the X360. Obviously the Pavilion X360 is a more popular version of the Pavilion, but personally I like clamshell laptops. I don't care about touchscreens. So yeah. And anyway, here we go. Here's a look at the beauty. So it does look really nice. Trackpad is pretty clicky, but also very silent. So that's nice. And then here are all of your keys. I'm not going to turn it on because it does have to charge up, so I'm not going to turn it on right now. But you can see your exhaust vent right there. This does have a glossy screen, which I'm not a big fan of, but oh well. So this does have a full-size chiclet keyboard. Pretty nice feeling keys. It's also a backlit keyboard, as you can see right there. And there you go. So as you can see, this does have your Intel Xe graphics, of course your 11th gen i5. And this tells you some of the specs there. So yeah, not bad. Now I believe this is as far back as the screen goes. Again, it's not a touch screen, but that's fine. Very thin bezels, as you can see. So that's nice to see. And so even though this is a 14-inch laptop, this pretty much is the same size as a 13-inch from just a few years ago. Okay, so the left-hand side, this is actually a headphone jack. So you have a headphone jack here, USB port, and then you plug in your charger on the right-hand side. And there's the rest of your ports. So not a huge selection of ports, but also not a bad selection of ports. I think it's perfectly reasonable for what it is. And as you can see, it is a pretty thin guy, so that's definitely nice, I gotta say. And just from first impressions, it's a little on the heavy side, but again, it is a partial aluminum, partial plastic construction. And obviously in this color, it's a nice color. Got your traditional HP logo there. And so, yeah, I definitely think that for $500, this is a pretty good deal. You know, you would be hard pressed to find a laptop with this much performance for cheaper than this. Alright, so here's a very quick follow-up video. Now the update I would give is do not buy this laptop. And the reason is because this HP Pavilion, this is actually the second one. The one that I showed you in the unboxing video is different from this one. And you see, what happened was that on the original one, there was a line about right here. There was actually a defect right here on the screen. It was an LCD backlight issue where the backlight was bleeding through the display. And I'll actually show a pic of that right now. So anyway, I took it back to where I got it from, and I got the second one. Of course, free of charge. It was a even exchange. But unfortunately, if this one still not too good. This was a year behind on... This thing was a year behind on Windows updates, and yeah, it was very much a pain. As I was trying to update this thing, it boot looped a couple times. A few times the screen went blank, and I have to constantly force it off and turn it back on in order to get it to update. And then through the HP software, the HP Support Assistant, I went ahead to do a BIOS update and actually did the same BIOS update twice in a row for whatever reason. And then it told me that afterwards that the installation actually failed. So anyway, the first one had a mechanical or a manufacturer defect, as you saw in the pic. This one, I mean, on the surface, it runs just fine, as you can see. The screen on this isn't that great. It's only 720p, but it's a good enough display. Has a nice trackpad. I do like the backlit keyboard. As you can see, it's a very pretty looking backlight, and it is two-stage. The trackpad is nice and large. Has a nice muffled click. That being said, though, if you hear this, yeah, it does rattle a little. And then These keys, they're nicely spaced, but the problem is they are pretty mushy. Like, typing on this is a pretty mushy feeling keyboard, so that's definitely a downside. Real quick, I'll just show off the task manager. But yeah, I had a really hard time updating this thing, and I feel like that this thing just, at least for me, this one just, I don't know, it seems fine, honestly, but I had such a hard time updating this thing that I just don't feel confident keeping it long term. So I'm gonna go ahead and return it. So if you buy this laptop, or really any lower end HP laptop, just be really careful, um, because it's a possibility that you might run into a laptop with a mechanical, manufacturer defect, or you'll have trouble trying to update it. But anyways, you can see though this does have the 1135 G7, your 8 gigs of RAM, and then this does have a Samsung NVMe SSD, and then Wi-Fi 6, and then your Iris Xe graphics. So this laptop does have good specs, and again, I got this for under $500. But that being said, with the issues that I went through in order to even update this thing, plus the first one having an actual defect, I honestly would not recommend this laptop. And just to add on to the glitches I was talking about, here are just a few of them, like little things. Like, for example, as you can see, if I scroll down, there's a little icon down there, but as you can see, when I let go of the trackpad, that thing is hidden. I want to get that off my screen, but I have to scroll down here in order to get to it. But obviously, it's impossible. It's impossible to get to it. And you can't use the arrow too, because that only works for the left hand side. So that's one weird glitch there. For some reason, this little icon is all the way at the bottom, and I can't get rid of it because it's hidden. Another thing is I want to get rid of this app, this McAfee. So I click to uninstall it, and then it brings me up to the control panel. Now, I already uninstalled McAfee. This didn't really have much bloatware, but I did uninstall McAfee. However, the icon is still here, and I can't get rid of it. And it's not just that one, LastPass 2. I uninstalled it. It's fully uninstalled from the computer, but yet the icon's still here. It still gives me an option to uninstall, and it brings me to this screen. I want these icons to be gone, but I can't get rid of them. It doesn't allow me to do that, even though these are already uninstalled. And then the same thing here with this Umotic. Once again, same issue. So this is what I was talking about by the little, glitches and stuff. And, it's like, it shouldn't matter, but it does. This laptop, nevertheless, is still $500, which is a lot of money, at least for me. And the fact that it has these weird little issues is just, it's not really acceptable. In some respects, the build quality is good. Again, this feels nice. It's very sturdy. But in other respects, the build quality, and especially the software experience, is definitely subpar. So that's just a little extra bit I wanted to add on to this. So in my opinion, I would not buy this laptop. I would go for an Acer or an Asus, because the newer Asuses are really good now. So I would get an Acer or an Asus. I would personally avoid this HP, or really any lower end HP, because it seems like the quality is really hit or miss with these now. So, yep, just that little bit of extra info I wanted to say there.